Hello, Dijon here. In the animation portion of episode 136 of the Mustardcast, we go over what cartoons we've been watching lately, discuss body positivity in Sakamoto Days, feminism in Ranma 1 half, Dijon's disappointment in Star Wars Visions Volume 3, and we react to the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Please enjoy. What cartoons have you been watching lately?
The cartoon wise, it's been a little light because I've been very much playing a lot of games rather than sitting down and watching stuff. I'm trying to think. We watched there's something we watched in Lab One the other day, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, Justice League Unlimited. I have started rewatching again just for the kicks and giggles. Since we kind of started watching it at work, and I forgot how good that TV show is. Like, of all the superhero cartoons, and this might be a little controversial, I low key think Justice League Unlimited is one of the best, if not the best.
Oh,
And
100%.
that's really it. Yeah, that's really it for me. Mostly just Justice League Unlimited, but
Funnily enough, as you know, I'm watching Justice League the animated series, which is, the precursor
oh,
to Justice League Unlimited.
hmm,
Um, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people watched Unlimited but didn't watch the animated series, or they watched the animated series but didn't realize that they're two separate shows technically, even though Unlimited is just a continuation of the animated series.
hmm. I was
Um,
say because I'm one of those people that falls in the former category. I didn't know there was a
yeah,
precursor to
I'm
Unlimited, but I
sure.
am.
I'm
That
sure
does
you've
make
seen it.
sense.
Like I'm sure you've seen episodes from
Probably
it and just didn't realize that that wasn't a part of Unlimited, and it was instead
limited, right?
the animated series. Um, but yeah, Justice League the animated series is really good. I mean, if you're rewatching Unlimited, go back and watch the animated series. It's also really good.
I just might because it'll be my first time watching it like consciously. I think.
Yeah, I think I watched it all the way through for the first time back when the DC Universe Infinite app at the time when they first released they were also trying to use it to put all of the cartoons and any new shows were going to be on that as well, but they realized that was stupid
Mm.
and folded all of that into HBO Max and made it just a comic app, which was very smart on their side because yeah, trying to make another streaming service
Yeah,
specifically for their movies and shows and cartoons would
cartoons.
just
Yeah,
that wouldn't work. But I mean, it didn't work obviously,
at
and that's why
all.
they moved it all to Max.
Right.
But yeah, I rewatched it back then, and now I'm watching it again alongside Blind Wave, which I'm also watching.
Mm.
Batman Beyond alongside them, and doing my own rewatch. But my rewatch has been on break because I fell behind on what I was watching with them. But now I'm caught back up again. So on Wednesday I'll be watching the first episode of season 3, which is the last season. And I read somewhere that the Batman Beyond movie takes place before episode 2, so I should watch the Return of the Joker Batman Beyond movie before episode 2. So I'll probably do that. Uh, Also still watching Fiona and Cake season 2, which has been really good. Again, barely advertised, but it's out. People should go watch it. Fiona and Cake's really good.
Right.
You don't need to have watched Adventure Time to watch Fiona and Cake, though it is in a lot of
Yes.
ways very much a sequel to Adventure Time,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of the characters from Adventure Time that appear in this.
Right.
Also watching Star Wars Visions Volume 3. Been kind of watching it very slowly. I've only just watched the third episode last night because I realized, oh, we record tomorrow. I should
Mm.
probably watch that episode because I've been holding off on watching it because I was watching other stuff. And I was like, if I'm gonna
Right.
watch it, I'm gonna sit in my living room and watch it on my nice TV instead of in my bedroom like I did, I think, the second episode. Um,
Makes sense.
and I was just tired after work and just never got around to watching it. So I finally sat down and watched the third episode, and I'll get around to the rest eventually. Um, Still rewatching One Piece, also alongside Blind Wave. I'm on episode 38 of 1,148. I'm not rewatching the whole show.
Jesus.
And they're doing
That's what I say.
so when they finish a show, they do a poll for the next show. And with One Piece, they're doing it arc by arc. So the only way they're gonna watch the next
Mhm.
arc after East Blue is if it gets voted for. So if it doesn't, they'll move on to something else, and they'll
Mm.
put the next arc in another poll to appear another time. So I assume it'll probably win because it's One
Right.
Piece, and One Piece is the most popular anime on the planet right now. So
Very popular.
um,
Yeah.
I imagine they'll continue watching it. They're going to be watching it until they
Yeah.
retire, and they're probably never going to catch up. But Sakamoto Days, I started. Uh, I was going to say season 2, but it's actually not season 2. There was a break, and they didn't they didn't do a season 2. Instead, it was just like a mid-season break, and like 6 months later, the second half of the season came out, and at the time I was like, I don't think I'll watch it. But I decided to sit down and start watching again. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I like this show. So yeah, Sakamoto Days is fun. It's about a former assassin who's retired, has a family, got fat, and now he's just chilling. And the latest episodes, instead of like just making fun of him being fat, there was an episode where he like fought so hard he lost weight and went back to his old fit self, but then he put it back on because he just ate a lot again. But in the most like recent like last two episodes, like one of his old like assassin network
Ollie.
acquaintances told him like it's okay that you're fat. You just got to get used to fighting in your new body. And now he's like trying to get back to the level that he used to be in the body that he's currently in, rather than them being like, oh no, he has to lose weight. And that's how he is at his full strength. Instead, it's like he's going to get back to his full strength at the weight that he is now. And I was like, that's a nice message. Instead of going like, no,
I like that
you're too fat.
angle.
You need to lose weight. They're just like, no, you're fine the way you are. You just got to actually, you're out of practice and you need to practice fighting in your current body.
Right.
Also watching Ranma one half on Netflix as well, and I don't tend to say too much about it overall because it's kind of hard to just discuss without people who aren't also watching it. But it's real good. I definitely recommend checking it out. This is the remake on Netflix, and in the last couple episodes, they subverted my expectations. For what is a very old anime and manga at this point because it debuted in like the late 80s. And I've talked about it before. It does some weird things because it's old. But they were surprisingly not sexist in a very specific way that I was expecting them to be. There was an episode where Ranma had to fight a guy in his woman form and they started to go into the whole, oh, he's weaker now because he's a tiny woman spiel. But then they went further and said, no, he's not weaker because he's a woman. He's weaker because when he turns to a woman, his body gets smaller and it's different in various different ways. Like for some reason, Rama, when he turns into a woman, has the biggest known to man. And they make fun and they find a reason to have this man naked all the time because he's a guy, so he's used to like, yeah, I can have my shirt off. And as you can imagine, they take advantage of that for a lot of pervy jokes.
Fan service.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of fan service. And like, I didn't realize it until I was like, when you watch a show on Netflix, they tell you the rating at the beginning in the top left corner. And I didn't realize, and I understand why. It's rated TVMA. Because like, you know how anime does it. They don't draw the nipple, but they show his bare chest when he's a woman all the time. So yeah, it's rated TVMA because they are not shy about showing Rama's body. And like, yeah, they were just like, oh no, you're shorter, so your arms and legs are shorter. So you can't reach as far and you have to adjust for that if you want to be as good of a fighter when you're in a woman's body as you are when you're in a man's body, which is the body that you built all those skills in. So you're used to fighting that one. You're not used to fighting this one. I was like, oh, that's refreshing to see that they weren't just like, oh, you're a woman, so you're weaker. They're just like, no, you have a completely different body that you have to get used to fighting in, similar to like Sakamoto Days. Which I was like, oh, that's very refreshing to see in this very old anime that they weren't just like, no, you're weak because you're a woman now. But yeah, I also mentioned this a bit when I was talking about the last season, but Mappa is using a very different style from any of the other anime that they've done. And it's gorgeous. Some of the background elements have this like paper cutout effect that looks really cool, almost collage-like. And the whole show is just very bright and pastel in color. And it's just very different from the more drab colored battle shown in like Jujutsu Kaisen or the first season of Chainsaw Man. So like it's very, very different from what you usually see from Mappa. Moving on to some reviews. Star Wars Visions. Like I said, I'm watching that. And to just talk about that a little bit more. I only watched the first 2 episodes. The first episode was a sequel episode, The Dual Payback, animated by Kamikaze Doga and Anima. In this episode, with the help of some unexpected allies, Ronin faces off against his greatest foe, a twisted Jedi known as the Grandmaster who is bent on revenge. In the second episode, The Song of Four Wings, which is animated by Project Studio Q, a princess turned rebel protects a child from the might of the Empire, on a snowbound planet. And the last one I watched, The Ninth Jedi, Child of Hope, the one I was most excited for, animated by Production IG, pursued by Jedi hunters and blasted adrift into space. Kara encounters a seemingly abandoned ship tended by a mysterious droid. So, the second episode, Song of Four Wings, was my favorite so far, by Studio Q. And of the sequel episodes were kind of disappointing. Especially The Ninth Jedi, which was my favorite episode of the first season.
I remember you saying that.
I didn't dislike either of them, but they unfortunately didn't really live up to the original episodes. Luckily for the Ninth Jedi, they're doing a spin-off series, so it's a bit more forgiving for there to be a weaker episode in what is going to end up being a full series. So I give that one a bit of slack, or I cut that one a bit of slack. But the duel is not bad, so I'm not saying the duel payback was a bad episode. I just like the original duel episodes more.
A lot better.
So honestly, I wasn't really even disappointed in the duel. I was more disappointed in the Ninth Jedi one. The duel, because the duel was still good, not as good as the first, but still really good. Whereas the Ninth Jedi, ultimately, I kind of was watching. I was like, this isn't as interesting as the first episode was. It kind of lost a lot of what made that first episode like fun and special when they were diving into like new aspects of like the Force and being a Jedi and specifically making lightsabers. That was really cool and different. And this one was just treading same old basic Star Wars ground, and I was like, oh, this is boring. So I hope that the series continues to do some new and interesting things with the Force and Jedi and lightsabers and things like that, rather than just being a basic Star Wars story but animated. Which, it's great that it's animated, but we've had animated Star Wars before.
Right. The Clone Wars. That's like some of the only Star Wars content I've ever watched.
And it's some of the best. Clone Wars is so good.
That's really.
But yeah, I'm excited to watch the rest. I've been hearing good things about all the other episodes, and there's another sequel episode. I think just one more, but maybe there's two in this season. So I'm excited to watch that one because that was probably my second favorite episode. The other sequel episode that's coming up. So like they make sequel episodes for essentially everybody's favorite episodes. The episode, the highest rated episodes from the first season. So yeah, I'm excited to watch more. The last episode especially, I hear, is really good. So yeah, there's Trigger did an episode for the first season, but this isn't a sequel to that episode. This is a new episode, and just from the thumbnail image, I'm probably gonna like that episode. The thumbnail images, I'm excited to get to that episode, but that's like the second to last episode, so I got some episodes to get through before I get there.
For the first, right?
But yeah, I'm excited to watch more Star Wars Visions.
Say a lot of people don't really think about how much the thumbnail makes you want to watch a show. If a show is not if I'm looking at stuff on a streaming service and the thumbnail is not up to snuff, it will make me not want to watch it.
Understand. But we got a trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Much like the first movie, the first trailer debuted in a very short Nintendo Direct, dedicated to it. That also announced some new cast members, such as Brie Larson as Rosalina and Benny Safdie as Bowser Jr. And I initially thought that Rosalina was Emma Stone, but no. The Cosmic Protector is being played by Captain Marvel herself. And Bowser Jr., on the other hand, while he sounds the part, in my opinion, I don't know who the hell he is. Which initially I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing. They're not just hiring celebrities. They're actually getting people that are good at the job. No. Because I learned that this man was the director of Uncut Gems. So this is also still celebrity casting. It's just the casting of a celebrity that we don't know.
That's a crazy overlap.
But either way, they both sound good, so I'm not complaining. As long as they can deliver, I'm fine with celebrity casting. The trailer itself makes it clear that this movie will be just as much a hodgepodge of various different Mario things as the first movie was. It's not necessarily just following the story of the Galaxy games. But this time around, I hope the story is better. Because me and A were kind of one mind in the sense that it's a good movie. Don't get us wrong. We thought it was good. But it was it was just a aggressively kids movie in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
You know, not to sound like an old man now that I'm 25,
I know what you
but
mean.
when I was a kid, children's
Back in
animation
my day.
back in my day, children's animation still had deep stories alongside some semi hidden adult themes and jokes for the parents to enjoy. But the Super Mario movie lacked that, and therefore, to me, it felt a bit hollow, like something was missing. But hopefully, you know, they found it for this movie, and you know, please, for the love of everything holy, do not have as many needle drops for music outside of Mario. There were so many songs in this movie that should not have been in this movie. There was entirely too much non-Mario music in my Mario movie. Like they played like when they were playing "Take on Me" when they were going to the Donkey Kong Kingdom. I was like, play Donkey Kong country music. Why are you playing "Take on Me"?
Right, some of the most iconic video game music in like recent memory. But no, let's use "Take on Me." Let's use, let's make a music suite of popular pop culture songs
And
in our goddamn Mario movie, because that's sensible.
yes, when we have this video game franchise that has some of the most iconic video game music of all time. Everybody knows these songs. Everybody knows the Mario Kart music, the Mario games music, the Donkey Kong music. Everybody knows these songs. We don't need needle drops. We're here for Mario. Give us Mario music. And I swear to God, if I hear fucking Chapel Rowan or some shit in the Zelda movie, Miyamoto, I'm coming for you.
Coming for you is crazy.
I will say that's been like the theme with these video game movies. Like I know in the Sonic movie they have like a bunch of like pop culture.
But at least that
music.
takes place in the modern day, okay?
Yeah, but like I want more Sonic music.
I mean, you're right though. But the thing is that here's the problem. With most other things, as much as I still hate it, it's way more understandable. Because here's the thing that I think sucks about adapting these adaptations is that they have to pay a lot of money to license the video game music, and that's why they don't use the music.
Oh, that makes sense.
Nintendo was directly involved with the creation of the Mario movie by Illumination. So they could afford to use the Mario music because they're not necessarily licensing it because it's their music. So it's not like the producers want, or the people working on the movie aren't necessarily like, there's not a direct connection with the original studio that made the game, so they can't just get it for free. Basically, they have to usually pay for it. With Mario movie, they basically had it for free, or at the very least, they could afford to buy it. And they could, because they fucking bought the license to a bunch of really popular songs that I'm sure they paid a lot of money for. And also there was a reveal that there were a lot of tracks actually made for the movie and certain scenes that just weren't used and instead were replaced with outside music, which is stupid. And they, like, some of those tracks you can find on like YouTube and stuff, and it's like, oh, you just decided to make this scene worse for no reason. And yeah, Sonic is a bit more understandable, like, but also when they played Live and Learn, it hit. It hit because they didn't use a lot of music, but they should be using more Sonic music. You know the place where I hate it the most, but is also the most understandable because they damn sure can't afford it? Castlevania. I'm every single day I'm mad that they can't use as much Castlevania music in Castlevania as I want them to. But of course, because of that, when they do, it hits kind of. I wasn't the biggest fan of the version of Bloody Tears that they used in the second season of Castlevania. But I did really like the version of Divine Bloodlines that they used in Nocturne season 2. That shit was fire. But I swear to God, I better hear what is it called? Tragic Prince. I better hear Tragic Prince in season 3. I better hear Tragic Prince. Because season 3 is basically going to be Symphony of the Night. So give me Tragic Prince.
Right. This is wishful thinking on my part. I am hoping that we get some Harmony of Dissonance music in there.
We gotta get the main theme.
I was gonna say, Juice theme is so iconic. It's so good.
But we're getting away from Mario.
Right.
We're supposed to talk about Mario. We started talking Castlevania. But yeah, what did you guys think of the trailer? We started talking about a whole different thing.
I'm actually kind of excited for it. I think that given like the scale of the last movie, I think seeing people's reactions to the first movie, I feel like Nintendo not usually, but tends to, especially when it comes to like big ventures like this, they usually come back swinging way harder than they did the first time. So I'm like, I hope that this movie is an improvement, but not in the wrong direction. Like, I hope they don't misinterpret the feedback and make it not as enjoyable, because I really did enjoy seeing the first Mario movie in theaters. It was a fun watch. It's just I wanted more from it. And I hope we get that more, but not in the way of like, hey, we're pandering.
I feel
We're
like
pandering. Look, do you remember this?
I feel like just like everything Nintendo makes, it made too much money for them to care about feedback.
Fair.
Yeah. They've been going on a rampage. So as of late anyway. So I can imagine that it's just like all about the money. Which isn't necessarily terrible, because at least they got the budget to make it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess I'm like expecting the same thing as like from the first movie.
Yeah,
Just like a lot more things added.
It'll be a good time, you know. You'll be in a movie theater with a bunch of kids and it'll be a little annoying, but it'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, the first movie was good for what it was.
Yeah, it was good for what
Like
it
it's
was.
a good fun movie.
But for me, I have higher expectations for Zelda. Zelda movie can't just be it can't just be a good kids movie. It needs to be a great fantasy movie.
Like, I don't even know what direction they're gonna like take with it anyway.
It's live action if you didn't know that.
I wonder which Zelda.
I don't know what direction they're going with that.
I don't know why. I don't know why they did that.
Adapt?
I don't know why they made it live action. That's so weird. But at the very least, the director is a person who loves CGI, and he loves not just CGI. He loves animation, and he years ago, like I think almost 20 years ago or something like that, like maybe 15 years ago, he made a tweet saying that the next Avatar style movie. So this had to be at least 2009. The next Avatar James Cameron style movie that mixes CGI and live action will be The Legend of Zelda. He just randomly made that tweet, like 12 years ago, and like
there we have it.
Yeah, he's there directing it, and he also directed the last Planet of the Apes movies, which is a blend of CGI and live action. So hopefully he does a really good job of like giving us these really like video game accurate CGI recreations of all the creatures and stuff, or at the very least really good practical effects as well that kind of create some of those creatures. Like I'm curious if I'm assuming a Gerudo of some kind is going to be in this movie, and I'm curious if they're gonna go full on like gigantic prosthetic like nose.
I hope not.
I mean, that's what they look. That's just what they look like, though.
I know it is, but like
you think they should just like hire brown people instead?
Yeah,
they could do both though. They could hire brown people, but then also give them just give them bigger noses. I don't know.
That feels like a caricature.
They already are caricatures.
I know. I've been playing like a lot of Ocarina of Time lately, because I like to do like randomizer seeds because it's fun. Even though I don't really like Ocarina of Time that much. It's chaotic, but in seeing a Gerudo in that game, I'm like, I don't know how this passed quality assurance. Like, as a black/brown person, I'm like, they got away with this in the 90s. It's kind of crazy because some of the stuff that I'd be seeing in Ocarina of Time, I'm like, that's not okay. This depiction. And honestly, while on the subject, I hope that if they do pick a specific game to go alongside, it's not Ocarina of Time. It can be any other Zelda game, like any other one. My fingers are crossed for Link to the Past.
I don't think,
but we're probably not going to get Link to the Past.
I don't think they're going to do Ocarina of Time because it would involve having a different actor for Link, and I don't think they're going to do that because they would need an older Link. And I don't think they're going to do older Link, so I think they're probably going to do Link to the Past. I think Link to the Past makes sense. Either Link to the Past or just, well, I was going to say or the first Zelda, but for all intents and purposes, A Link to the Past is basically a remake of the first Zelda.
quite. They're actually rather different.
I mean, I guess. Or they for some reason do Breath of the Wild. I mean, they're probably gonna do what they did with Mario, and it's gonna be an amalgamation.
Mhm. I just hope it's an amalgamation that makes sense. You know what? Wishful thinking again. Skyward Sword would be really cool, I think.